Hello, everybody. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat. Mike Schumann from the Daily Hoosier coming to you from the Simon Scott Assembly Halls tonight. The Indiana Hoosiers close out non-conference play as they take on the Jacksonville Dolphins tonight in a game the Hoosiers would easily win this one tonight, 94-64. But the story of this night, Juwan Morgan, a triple-double, only the second ever in the history of Indiana basketball, and I think the first ever in this building. But what a great effort by Juwan tonight.
Yeah, I mean, how long ago was it? It was before my lifetime, and I'm no youngster, so.
1971, who was Steve Downing that had the only other triple-double in IU history. I can't remember if it was in this building or not. I think may not have been.
I believe it was the first year in this building.
Very possible. But the fact that the legacy of Indiana basketball, as deep as it is, but only to do something for the second time ever, that's huge.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about Downing's that I heard in the press room was that his third category was blocks, not assists. So a little fun fact there, but nevertheless, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, no, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists tonight for Juwan Morgan. And it wasn't just Juwan. The ball movement for Indiana tonight, very good. And that's something that's really been picked up on the last couple of games. I asked Archie in the post-game press conference. They had 25 assists in the last game. They had 21 assists in this game, and only 5 turnovers in the first half. I think that better ball movement is relegating it to a lot less turnovers.
Right. I mean, how much of it was the opponent? I guess we'll find out. But it's still good to see. I mean, the ball movement was clear. It was obvious they were doing good things there, and it turned into a really high field goal percentage tonight, 65% from the field.
Again, Indiana, one of the top shooting teams in this country, and we talked about the negatives as far as not shooting the three-point ball so well, but they are just lighting it up from the two-point field goal percentage, 64%, like you said, almost 65%. In the second half, they shot 72%. Now that's crazy.
Right.
And I've talked about it. And I asked Todd Leary on the show yesterday about that. If they're shooting the ball that well, is it okay to lessen the effectiveness on the three-point shooting? And he thinks that they're fine. But if you're going to shoot the ball 65%, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad night from three either. 8 for 20. I think that's maybe the third game in a row where they were at least respectable.
40%.
Opponents aren't going to be able to just lay off and force them to shoot threes if they can keep it at that kind of level. So I think the numbers are incredible. Justin Smith, 6 of 7. Morgan, 5 of 5. Langford, 6 of 9. Durham, 6 of 8. I mean, that's impressive stuff.
It is. It's very efficient. It's crazy. I was looking at those numbers like you just said. I mean, and Juwan in his last couple of games, I think he's had 28 of his last 34 shots. It's just nuts. It's crazy. Al Durham, a career high 18 points tonight. A very, very balanced effort. 5 players in double figures for the Hoosiers tonight, and almost 6. Demezy Anderson with 9 points. He was lighting it up from the outside. He hit 3 threes, I think. But a great all-around game by everybody. Juwan Morgan with 10, like I said. Justin Smith, 13 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Romeo with 15. Al Durham with 18, a career high, like I said. Devontae Green with 19 points. A great all-around effort. Right. Very balanced attack for this team.
Yeah, and I saw somebody say on social media that Morgan hasn't missed a 2-point shot since the Louisville game. Think about that. That feels like a long time ago. The guy is just an efficient beast inside.
And Indiana's going to need that now as Big Ten play comes up next. The next game they'll have, they've got 11 days off before they'll take on Illinois right here in this building. January 3rd as Big Ten play will resume. Indiana goes into that with a 2-0 mark now. And they have a chance to be, what are they now, 11-2 now? Right. So we could look at being 12-2. And very good position for this team to be in.
Yeah, Illinois is a team that likes to play a lot of pressure defense, full court at times. It'll test that whole notion of reduced turnovers and offensive efficiency. But I think it'll be a good test and a good opportunity to get to 3-0 in conference play.
Zach McRoberts didn't play tonight. Rob Finnessy, of course, under concussion protocol, didn't play tonight. They're still without Jerome Hunter and Race Thompson as well. So maybe after this long break coming up, they can get some of those guys back and get more semblance of a team. But they seem to be coming together in concert now offensively, really, really working fluidly together.
Yeah, and all the more impressive to be so efficient and clean seen on offense when your starting point guard's not in the game, Zach McRoberts, another contributor, not in the game, and you still have 5 guys in double figures. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. That's pretty much going to wrap it up tonight here. One last thing on a personal note. Terry Hutchins, our good friend, friend of the show, is with us each and every Thursday since we went on the air. Passed away. I'm sure you saw that, and tonight was a tribute here tonight, and his media seat will be left open for the rest of the year also. But he leaves a huge hole, and not only in the IU media corps, but just in Indiana basketball, period. He's covered Indiana basketball and football for 21 years, but he was a great friend. He was a great mentor. He helped so many people, myself included, and I'm so grateful for Terry, all he did for us and for the show, and just being the great person. And we are certainly going to miss him, and we certainly thank him and his family for sharing him with us. Terry, we miss you, buddy, and we hope you're looking down and smiling on us and thinking of the next joke you're going to pull on us. But thank you so much. But that's going to wrap it up. I'm Jim with Mike Schumann from the Daily Hoosier. I'm Jim Coyle from Indiana Sports Beat. Make sure you check us out each and every day. We're on Monday through Friday live, 6 to 8 on IndianaSportsBeat.com. You can find us there, in addition to Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iTunes, and all those places, as well as Facebook as well. But stay tuned. We'll be back and cover each and every Hoosier happening coming up. That's it for tonight from Simon Scott Assembly Hall, and I'll see you on the radio.